this equipment to see if it works. If you can see me and not just hear me, you can see TD Jakes in the back. I'll watch that in the morning to get my head right, get my spirit right. Because these devils, they be after you. So I'm opening my phone right now to start off with a preface to this podcast. And so each morning, I listen to my writings because I'm working on a book.
Frontier in American History 1900 to 1930. Timothy Eugene Nelson. Preface. Black Dome was a real place. I have to make this fact clear because my brother Maison Nelson thought I made it up. No lie. Maison, pronounced Maison, recorded my doctoral graduation. He flew all the way from the Air Force Base, where he was stationed in Las Vegas, Nevada, to El Paso, Texas. He took pictures with me holding my University of Texas at El Paso mock diploma. Still, after not seeing him for about 5 years, his question was, when you gone make some money? I graduated with a PhD in Borderland history on December 10th, 2015, with subfield expertise in African diaspora.
The Richard E. Show, the voice of Santa Fe on KTRC, Santa Fe's news talk leader.
Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed?
All right. Dr. Timothy E. Nelson is here, and we're going to talk about what he's going to be doing along with a gentleman named Gregory Waits tomorrow evening at CCA, right? Yes. Dr. Nelson, you are a doctor of what?
Philosophy.
Medicine?
Philosophy.
I haven't a pain.
You're in trouble there.
Well, yeah. Doctor of philosophy.
Philosophy with specifically in history, borderland studies.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Compton, California. Grew up somewhat in L.A. too as well, but mostly Compton.
What years?
I graduated high school in 1995. So like when the
How old were you in Rodney King days?
Oh.
Were you around there?
Yes, I was in high school. I did not participate in the riots.
So you say.
Yeah, I'm just making sure because, the statute of limitations.
I know. You never know. You never know who's listening. So you were in high school?
I was in high
during
school.
the riots?
Yes.
Scary time in that part of L.A.
Yes.
I was in L.A. as well.
Yes.
I was a truck driver.
No.
Yeah.
Ooh, I remember the Denny situation.
Reginald Denny.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you grew up in Compton?
Yeah.
And then because you were a kid growing up in Compton, said, I'm going to be a doctor of philosophy.
No. I could barely read coming out of high school, but I could play football,
Really?
Really well. And that's how I got to New Mexico.
I'm thinking defense. No?
I'm just
running back?
Yes, exactly.
Were you really?
Yes. I was a running back for New Mexico State, and we did
You were an Aggie?
Yes, and we did beat UNM.
What year?
During my years. During the Tony Samuel days.
Sure.
97,
Coach
98.
Samuel, right.
Yeah, 97, 98. I was a junior college transfer.
And I was doing Lobo Radio.
Oh, so
with Mike Roberts.
Do you remember this? Okay, do you remember this UNM,
We may have
NMSU?
been cursing you. Did you score a touchdown?
I did.
Oh.
Wait, let me see. Let me see.
We're getting off topic.
Maybe, I don't know. That's too long ago. But Urlacher dropped a punt, and that's how we won when we were at UNM.
He thought he could do everything, and he pretty much could.
In college, yeah.
He was a man among boys.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Big, fast.
Yeah, the first thing when we
Well,
came
cool.
in on Monday, when we were about to play them the next week, it was like, okay, this guy named Urlacher.
He's from Lovington. No big deal. Man. Yeah. Turned out he was a big deal.
Very big deal.
Number one pick in the NFL.
Very big deal. They used to say this thing around in the locker room and say, he came to school just to play football. And that's the attitude we had to have that week when we had to play against them.
All right, so you played a game without your helmet, and that's how it became a doctor of philosophy.
No, we were playing against Texas, and Ricky Williams, it was his Heisman Trophy year, and I scored during that game. I mean, we're going back and forth with them on offense. Our defense, not so much.
Right.
And I score, and I look up, and I'm like, is this it? And it kind of was.
The
And
meaning
that's-
of life.
Yeah, it's like, is this it?
I'm no Ricky Williams.
That day, I realized I was not a Ricky
He
Williams.
was a stud, man.
Oh.
He was a stud.
He got like 600 yards on his
Then he started
all-purpose.
smoking pot.
I think he was smoking before, though.
Really?
Let's just give. Yeah, he was smoking before.
Okay.
And during.
This is great. We should have had you in earlier. We'll have you back. Dr. Timothy E. Nelson. Now, you live in Los Alamos.
I do.
What do you do up there, philosophically?
Well, my daughter, she's in middle school, and I love watching her run track.
Okay.
That is, it's the highlight of my day, my life, really.
Can you make a living as a doctor of philosophy in Los Alamos, New Mexico?
No. No, not at all. It's really difficult in New Mexico in general with the specialty that I have, particularly Black history.
All right, tell us about it.
Black-
Let's get down to
Okay.
to Blackdom.
Okay, so Blackdom. Most people are not familiar with it. They're getting familiar with it. The show Godless featured Blackdom.
In a
However,
very weird way. It was a very strange show.
yeah,
It was a great series, but it was a very strange show.
wonderful series, right?
Yeah.
Right. I just they
With
did,
Michelle Dockery.
Oh,
Give me a break.
you know what? I started following her on Instagram, and it just fell in love with her.
You became a fan of Downton Abbey all of a sudden, didn't you? She's gorgeous.
Why are you
Anyway,
telling my
I'm sorry.
secrets?
I'm sorry.
Telling my secrets.
All right, Blackdom.
Blackdom. Okay, so
A
like
real town.
the real town, like in Godless, most people use Blackdom as a footnote. And so what I did for my dissertation to get my PhD is focused on this footnote, and I found that they struck oil. Now, all the other stories I had heard from Colores and all of the other different narratives, none of the oil company came up. So that's when I knew I was onto something. And then I realized that the whole narrative that I've been told about Blackdom, that we all have been told about Blackdom,
Right.
was missing about a decade of information.
Really?
So,
All right, so it was founded about when?
1903.
By whom?
13 black families. Most notably is Frank Boyer, and he was a black minister, black Freemason. He was also in the military, so he was one of the spearheads for this. But
Looking for what? To be left alone?
you would think that, but that's not how it worked. They were looking for money. It was about money. The Blackdom itself was an investment vehicle. You could do a lot more owning your own town than you could just working. So it was, in a lot of ways, a pass-through for a lot of people.
Okay. Where was it?
20 miles south of Roswell, 20 miles north of Artesia. Dexter is about 10 miles east.
Okay. What is there now?
A plaque.
That's it?
Yes.
It's all that's
there
left.
are plans. There are plans. Gregory Waits, for example, you mentioned him earlier.
Right.
He was a part of a monument building project that was that didn't go all the way through,
Okay.
and now it's being resurrected with
Okay.
the new history that we've developed with the 10 years that was left out of the original history.
All right, so you'll be doing a presentation about Blackdom
Yes.
tomorrow evening at
Yes,
CCA.
it's a little bit more involved than just the history of Blackdom. I kind of make it more relevant because what they knew, we should know now. And it starts with race, and it starts with the intersectionality that we all should be engaging in somehow, in some way.
All right, so what wisdom did they have in 1903 that we could use in 2019, besides a whole bunch?
Race didn't exist.
Survival.
Race didn't exist. Racism did, and so they responded to the racism. But they didn't see
What's the
themselves
difference?
through the
Explain the
lens of
difference.
race. Well, okay.
How do you have racism without race?
Well, when you